Shalom, Shalom. I want to start off as always by giving no praise to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Double honors, post of GMS, and honors to brothers that are doing the work in truth, war, sincerity. Quick one of an event that took place at camp the other day. Had a geezer Jake coming out, spewing the usual madness about how the Bible's a so-called white man's book. Right, so I just want to dispel that myth real quick. I mean, when you look through slavery. Right, the slaves weren't allowed to read, right? But if they were caught reading the Bible, then they were put to death, right? Because what had to happen was this Bible had to become something that we wouldn't read, which is why you'll be, speaking to your mothers. Like our brother in the camp asked his mother what tribe Jesus was from, and she said one of the Arabic tribes, man. And she's been going to it for like 50 odd something years, man. And these people don't understand these scriptures, they don't understand the Bible, which is why we're here. Now I typed into Google 18 nations in the Bible, right, and this is the first result that came up, and I'm not logged in to anything. So how it knew, basically showing you that this truth is going out, that this isn't from like my history, because that's what Google will do. It will look through your history and your likes to show you the most relevant results, right? But number one, of course, you've got Yashar'Allah, which is Israel, right? You've got Edom, Elam, Asher, Aram, Ishmael, Moab, Ammon, Cush, Mizraim, Phut, Canaan, Gomer, Magog, Yavan, Ashkenaz, Tarshish, and Kittim. Right now, I need to go through this because to understand that the white man did not write the book, you need to understand biblically who the so-called white man is, which according to scriptures is Edom, right? So I'll start going into it. It says Numbers 1:18, right? It says, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers. Right, so according to the Bible, you are what your father is. The concept of mixed race doesn't exist. Right, if your mother is an Edomite and your father is an Israelite, then you are an Israelite. Right, just to, just kill any bit of confusion, right? Because you'll get so-called white people that are actually Israelites, and you'll get so-called black people that are actually Edomites, and all the heathen nations in between, right? And you get Israelites from one part of the 12 tribe sign that are actually from another tribe. Case in point, the captain at GMS London. He's you by looking at the sign, you'd expect him to be a Benjamite, but he's really a Reubenite, right? So there is some spirituality that goes on in there, but in terms of just keeping it basic, you are what your father is, right? So we go into the scriptures. First thing, like I said, you need to understand is who are the Edomites, right? So this is it's got rather who is the so-called white man according to the scriptures, right? So you bring up Genesis 25 and 25 says, and the first came out red all over like an hairy garment. Now who are the so-called red people? Don't say red Indians, right? When you look at so-called white people, whenever they get hot or whatever, they turn red, right? Because their pigment shows through their skin, which is what this word here, Esau, means. In the Hebrew, it's Ashashra, means wasted away his heat. Right, so the so-called white man doesn't have pigment, so his blood shows through his skin, especially when they get older, and you can see, the veins literally just popping out through their skins, red blood veins and everything, right? But basically, that is how the Edomite looks. Right, I'm gonna jump down as well. This is Genesis 25 and 29. Says, and Jacob said, pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. And Esau said unto Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with the same red pottage. Now this is meat that wasn't well done. Right? Now you got to ask yourself, who likes their meat not well done? Right? It says, for I am faint, therefore his name was called Edom, i.e. red. It says, and Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die. Now this is the characteristic of the so-called white man, right? He just wants something now, and he's not willing to weigh the cost, right? Because you got to remember where this setting is. He could have easily gone out got some other food, some grain or whatever, what have you, right? But he was like, oh man, I can't, I can't eat. I need to eat this, that, and the other. It says, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, swear to me this day, and he swore, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. Right? This is Genesis 27:11. It says, and Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, behold, Esau, my brother, is a hairy man, and I am a smooth man. Once again, characteristic of the so-called white man is very hairy in comparison to Israel, comparison to Jacob. Right? This is verse 40 of the same verse. Right? So this is when each child is getting the blessing now. It says, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Now you ask yourself, who rules by the sword? Who has conquered nation after nation after nation using weaponry, using the sword like no other nation? The brothers, myself and a couple other brothers went to the Imperial War Museum over here in London, right? And you just see all of the different, advancements in technology in terms of weaponry, the amount of different guns this man has, this man's perfected. This is talking about the so-called one. That is his blessing. No one has used the sword, i.e., a killing instrument, so perfectly. Right, no one else has created intercontinental ballistic missiles. No one else has created, just ballistic missiles in general. Well, apart from the so-called white man. So, who has this? Would you call it blessing today? Right. We're done with that. Right, so we go on. Job 9:24 says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is he? Right, so you ask yourself once again, who's ruling the earth today? Right, and there's breakdowns to that, but that's not pertinent for this particular video. So Psalms 49:11, it says, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. And you look at all of the names, the countries of this world, right? It's all more or less named after Edomites, right? You got Africa, Leo Scipio Africanus, Amerigo Vespucci, right? And go on to say that their houses shall continue forever. Who's who basically thinks that they're going to be in rulership forever? And this admittedly has been every nation, because no nation ever expects to fall. But right now, this Edomite is so proud, right? And they think that they will be going on forever and continue forever. Right, so Psalms 55:21 says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Once again, who goes around promising peace but only ever brings destruction? Look at Iraq, for instance, at Libya, saying we're going to go there and bring democracy, we're going to make your world a better place, but all he bought was 100 Tomahawk missiles and more destruction. Talks about, we care about the Syrian people, right? So then he goes and arms illegal groups. He arms, all of these groups that really and truly it's his mercenaries that are over there to destabilize a sovereign nation. Who has created the UN and then said, who has created the UN, right? But then doesn't listen to any of the rules of the UN. The so-called white man, right? He's talking about how you can't go and start legal wars. You can't go and occupy other countries, but then we'll go and start an illegal war. Right, here it is. Russia has asked for the permission to be in Syria, but apparently Russia has a problem being in Syria, but the so-called white man is there illegally. Not saying, the Russians are Edomites as well. So who goes around doing that? when you look at the Native Americans, when they were there, they helped the so-called white men. When they were all, being all smooth and stuff. But when what happened, the so-called white man put them to death, right? Let me carry on. This is Jeremiah 49:16. It says, Thy terribleness hath deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, that holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence. Right, so let's take a few points from here. It says, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. And you look at the word Caucasian, what does that mean? It means, people who came from the Caucasus Mountains, right, from the clefts of the rock. Right, and who likes these tall-ass buildings, man? Esau. Why have you got to have a building that goes up, 50 stories into the sky? And then when there's a fire, people start crying, oh my God, it was so terrible. But the scriptures tell you not to be building up that high anyway. Right? It says, Obadiah 1:3 says, The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, though thou dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high. Right? That said, who shall bring me down? Right? Who's the most proud man right now on earth? It's the so-called white man. Right? It says, verse 4 says, Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle. Now, here's a good, this right here rather, is a good, this gets it straight to the point. Who goes around with the symbol of an eagle, an unclean bird? Who has the characteristics of an eagle? Right, so the animal of America, that's the eagle, man. Right, it says, Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down. And who has made the nest among the stars? Right, so this is so it should have given you an idea that the so-called white man is according to the Bible Esau, the Edomites. Right, let me just try and see if there's anything to pick from here. Okay, of course, is Malachi 1:4 says, Whereas Edom saith, We are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord, They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. Right? And then we look in First Maccabees, the first chapter. Right? Where is it? Like I'm just trying to find the verse I'm looking for. It says wickedness, should say wickedness increase. Where is that? Yeah, okay, cool. Right, this is verse 1 Maccabees 1:9. It says, And after his death they all put crowns upon themselves, and so did their sons and sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. Right, so evil and wickedness, man, that is the nature of the so-called white man. This is you can read all of it, but for the sake of time I'm not gonna go into it. This is talking about Alexander the creep, the Macedonian, right? Wickedness, goes around wherever the so-called white man is. Evils, right? What else was I thinking to get? Yeah, we'll get that for now. So hopefully you got an idea that the so-called white man is biblically known as the Edomites, right? So now we get into the scriptures, right? It says Leviticus 13:13. It says, Then the priest shall consider, and behold, if the leprosy have covered all his flesh, he shall pronounce him clean that hath the plague. It is all turned white. He is clean. Now, so basically saying having white skin is a plague. Right, and it's only if you're fully white that it's that you're considered to be a clean leper. Right. It says verse 30. It says, Then the priest shall see the plague, and behold, if it be in sight deeper than the skin, and there be in it a yellow thin hair. When you look up the word blonde, it's a yellow thin hair. It says, then the priest shall pronounce him unclean. It is a dry scale, even a leprosy upon the head or beard. Right, so if the so-called white man wrote the scriptures, then how comes it saying having white skin is a curse? When you read the Book of Mormon, it says that having dark skin is a curse, and Esau wrote the Book of Mormon. Right, whereas the Bible says having white skin is a curse. Right, in fact, let me get this as well. So it's Numbers 12 and 10, is it? Right, it says Numbers 12 and 10. It says, and the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam was leprous, white as snow. So basically, having white skin is considered leprosy in the Bible, right? And in verse 12, I'll read the next two. It says, verse 11 says, and he said unto Moses, oh, alas, my Lord, I beseech thee, lay not this sin upon us, wherein we have done foolishly, and wherein we have sinned. Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed when he cometh out of his mother's womb. Right. This is talking about those with so-called white skin. So we ask ourselves the question: the so-called white man wrote the scriptures, right? Then why has he left this in? Why did he not change it? Right, then you know the nature of the white man when it comes to sexual depravity. Right, scriptures talk about you ain't supposed to lay with your sister, lay with your with your mother, lay with man. Yet these are all things that Esau likes to do. You look through all of civilization. But the Greeks, they were hella into that weird shit. The Romans, and today, to as far as point where it talks about these guys be talking about getting their rods chopped off and shit, right? And also, now that we've proven that the Edomites are the so-called white people are Edomites, and why did they leave this in? This is Obadiah 1 and 18. It says, in the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau, i.e. the so-called white man, for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. So we ask ourselves the question again: if the so-called white man wrote the book, why has he written his own destruction in it? Why did he leave this in here? Right. This is, I just look for some scriptures right in the book, right? This is, I'll bring up these forces, Exodus 17 and 4 says, and the Lord said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in the book, and rehearse it in the ears of Joshua. Right, so here, this is the Lord Yahweh. Right, that's his name. His son's name is Yahweh Shai. Right, it says, and the Lord said unto Moses, write this for a memorial in the book. So the Lord is the one saying, hey, look, note this down, put it in the book. Right, another example in Deuteronomy 17 and 18 says, and it shall be when he sitteth upon the throne of his kingdom that he shall write him a copy of this law in a book, out of that which is before the priests and the Levites. So once again it says, write the copy of this law in the book, write it down, note it down. Right, it says Isaiah 30 and 8, it says, now go, write it before them in a table, and note it in a book, that it may be for time to come, forever and ever. Right, once again, this is someone being told, in this case Isaiah, go ahead, write this in the book. Write it. Well, what does the scripture say in Romans, man? All things that are written aforetime were written for our learning. So all of these scriptures were written such that we shall learn. Right, it says Revelation 1:11 says, saying, right, it says in red, so you can see that's Yahweh Shai speaking. It says, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last, and what thou seest, write in a book, and send it unto the 7 churches which are in Asia. Right, and it lists the name of the churches. But once again, the point here is write it in a book. Right, so these scriptures were, as it says over here in 2 Timothy 3 and 16 says, all scripture is given by inspiration of the Most High. Right, so the Lord is one who will deal with, with a select man, a select group of men, and they'll write the scriptures down. Right, or as many, people, they might have their scribe write it down for them, or whatever, what have you. Right, but it will be such that the Most High will basically be dealing with a man, and that man will write it in a book. And today, right, you have what the apostles dubbed epistles, right, where the Lord Himself has worked with them and the great men before them, the apostles before them, right, to get these scriptures, and they left video logs, if you like, right, of all that the Lord had revealed unto them. Right, so Lord's all you've been edified. Right, and the so-called white man did not write the book. The so-called white man is, according to the Bible, the Edomites, and according to Obadiah, according to other prophecies of the Bible, the so-called white man is going to be destroyed forever. Those are those that did that, who descend from the man Esau. So that, I'm gonna say Shalom.